Okay, channel message for a specific group. So this is about how you were taken advantage of by certain family members at some point. This is something that could have possibly been very recent, meaning like within the past 5 years this has happened. Okay. Um, Take whatever resonates. But what happened is that you were taken advantage of by certain family members that asked you to help them. And when they asked you for your help in their time of need, you, with a good heart, you willingly helped them because that's your family. You love your family. You want to help people out. You knew you had the opportunity to do so. You had the free time. You sacrificed your time and your energy. And even at some point, you were putting in your own priorities kind of on the back burner to be here for your family that, needed your help. And what you did is you played your part. You played your role. You did exactly what was asked of you. You did exactly what you were called there to do. You did the right thing. However, you were there to be a test and a lesson for these people. They had to learn a lesson. They were going to learn a lesson in this entire ordeal. Okay. There was a major lesson that all of you all were going to learn by you physically being there through this experience. But you were also there as a sort of karmic test for these family members, where if they were to do right by you, then the desires of their heart that they wanted, they would be granted that. They would be given what they wanted, the desires of their heart. But if they did wrong by you, then they were not going to get the desires of their heart. They were going to get the exact opposite. They weren't going to get what they wanted. They got what they needed. And sometimes what we need is not always what we want. We understand this, right? So you came in here into this experience with these people, with these family members. And because they took advantage of you, they did not do right by you. They were disrespecting you. They were belittling you. They were being abusive towards you. If you were doing things to help them with any type of labor work, they were overworking you and underpaying you, which is a bad combination. So they literally just abused their power over you. It had even got to a point where they got so used to you handling and doing things for them that they just kind of sat back and just let you just take care of everything, while they just sat back here with their legs crossed and their tea and crumpets, and they're just letting you do everything, not even realizing that they slipped back on their own priorities because they got entitled to someone else doing something for them. And they learned you never know how good you have until you lose it. And because these family members took advantage of you, they exploited you, they took your kindness, your innocence, your naivety. They took all of that and exploited you for it. They learned the lesson that you never know how good you have until you lose it. You never know how much a person has really been helping you in your life until that person is gone. You are like the one is, you kind of live this life where like you're kind of like the one that got away. You're the one that people don't truly appreciate you until you are gone. And it sucks, baby, because you're just like, I would like to be appreciated while I am there. While I am here, I want to be appreciated. Why do I always have to leave in order for people to appreciate me? Because when I'm there, they just tolerate me. Let me tell you why. Because you were dealing with very selfish, self-centered people. These people, they are the types where they would make sure that you don't have the opportunity to really do for yourself because they put so much pressure on you. They put so much responsibility, so much on you that you really don't have much time else or energy to invest elsewhere. Or these people are so self-centered and selfish to where they feel like even if you are helping them in whatever way, they feel like, you know, go ahead and do that for me. Go ahead and take care of that. Go ahead and help that. I don't have to do anything now. And they just kind of got lazy with it and think if someone else is doing something for me, then I don't have to do it. Instead of just thinking that you should do things on your own for yourself because you should. It's your thing, not just utilizing another person that's there and just using them up until you suck them dry just because you kind of want like I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Like they want to be able to be at ease, but they're putting someone else and not at ease so that they can be at ease. That is not fair. Because at that point, it's not an equal give and take. It is they are taking more than what they are giving. And you have tried to talk to these family members about what has happened, but they refuse to see their wrong in the whole ordeal and how things have played itself out. They aren't seeing how they were disrespectful to you. They weren't seeing how they took advantage of you. They are not seeing that they were in the wrong and how the situation blew up in their face and it all backfired and it didn't end very pleasantly because of the energy that they put into it. They planted a bad seed. They planted a seed of feeling entitled to your help and tolerating you instead of appreciating you. And then you realize that no person is ever entitled to your time, to your energy, to your help. And at any point in time, you can take that energy back, take your power back, take your time back, take your life back. You learned that at any point in time, you can take your energy back. At any point in time, you can get up and leave and you do not have to stay. You learned this. And you also learned that it was time for you to start putting yourself first and putting your own emotions and your own needs first and make that your top priority and stop allowing other people to convince you that their needs need to come before your own. These people basically tried to brainwash you into believing that you showing up for them all the time meant that you were proving your love and your loyalty to them, and that anytime that you put yourself on the back burner and you neglected your own self, that was a good thing. And that if you ever wanted any type of time to yourself or any time for you to just take care of you, they looked at you as if that was just blasphemous. That was just horrible. That was, how dare you? And it's because of this. These people got so used and accustomed to what you were giving them. They loved how you were, cooking and cleaning for them and helping out and watching their kids. They loved the fact that you were doing this and how you were kind of doing this for free. You weren't really kind of like, at some point you were probably doing this for free, weren't really getting money from them. They really enjoyed this to their advantage and they did not want to give away the benefits that came from you. So if at some point you were living with these people, they could have kicked you out. They could have told you to leave and go back home or go somewhere else. But they didn't want to. If you were to leave, then you would have left with all of the benefits that came with you being there. And they didn't want to lose that. So they basically just tolerated you because of what you came with, even though they weren't appreciating you, even though they didn't want you there, even though they have told you that you wore out your welcome. And you know what? There could be some truth to that. At some point, you probably did stay there longer than you needed to or intended to. That's neither here nor there. However, there wasn't any type of communication that was done and that was given directly about what these people really wanted. If they would have just been man enough or woman enough to just come up and just tell you straight up, like, hey, like, it's time for you to go on home. It's time for you to leave. It's time for you to go on. We go on our house back. Instead of them doing that, they was beating around the bush. They were throwing all of these little hints and everything, hoping that you would pick them up, hoping that you would take the bait. Instead of just communicating with you straight up. So because they were doing all of this, being all sneaky, when everything finally just blew up in their face, you basically walked away, took your power back, and the way that you may have left where it wasn't a very pleasant leave, or there was conflict that had arise at the time of you all leaving, and all of that could have been avoided had they just communicated to you properly what was going on. They expected you to read their mind, and you're not a mind reader, so they brought this on themselves.